is Kent Bai, and I'm a documentary filmmaker. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I got this film, and a lot of it's criticizing about the media, but I didn't just want to like have this big rant about the media is really screwed up. Everyone knows the media is screwed up. I want to try to do something about it and try to like create some viable alternatives.
The world is not going to be the same for the major media in 5 or 10 years. That much I'm convinced of.
This isn't too bright or anything. See, that's one thing. Like
the traditional mass media are a lecture. And we're evolving media into something in between a conversation and a seminar with some lecture as well.
You know, the conversational mode of relating to each other is as old as humanity, but it's actually new to what we call media.
This project takes a look at how the ABC, CBS, and NBC newscasts became an echo chamber to the countdown towards war in Iraq, and how I produced the film will provide some collaborative alternatives that can make media more inclusive of different perspectives and points of view.
And it is a failure of most major media to delve behind, in a meaningful way, the administration's rationale for going to war and the intelligence that it was using to make its case.
I don't think I ever doubted that there was going to be a war. There was a lot of talk about how no decision has been made, but I don't know, maybe we're just too cynical, but all of the entire press corps at the Pentagon was just kind of looking at our watches and wondering when it was going to be. There was never any doubt, I think, in any of our minds that it was an if.
Target Iraq. The road to possible war.
Showdown with Saddam.
But if you take it as a given, as I've already suggested to you that we did, that the administration was hell-bent on going to war, then you could only point out the steps that were being taken down that path.
People want to know how things feel. I don't know why it's driving it that direction, but I know it is going that direction.
You cannot separate out what happens inside us, our belief systems, our worldviews, from the nature of the world in which we're embedded. And this is true for journalism, it's true for medicine, it's true for science, it's true for every domain of human inquiry, where we know that as thinking, feeling human beings, we're much more complicated than just the biological, mechanistic aspects of our being.
I'm trying to do collaborative media that's scalable and profitable for big organizations to do it. Why not just get all the information out there? I can open source all of the text of the interviews. I could release the audio at some point at podcasts. And then eventually when the film is done, I could release the video so people could remix it in whatever way they wanted to. They could add more conservative voices or more progressive voices or whatever voices they want to.
I think in general, on any beat at any publication or broadcast, the readers by definition know more than any individual reporter.
So collectively, my audience knows more than I do. And there are technologies that can tap into the wisdom of this crowd. Websites like Delicious or Technorati use something called folksonomy tags to add context and meaning to web pages. Folksonomies could also be used to add context and meaning to film sound bites in order to facilitate collaborative editing.
Right now we're in the model where lots and lots of people are capable of inventing exactly what they want to do what they want and then sharing it.
My website is running the open source community software called Drupal. This allows the creation of specific tools that can facilitate collaborative media. These tools can then be shared with any other website that's running Drupal or CivicSpace.
I think a blogger's mantra could be, whatever else you do, bring intelligence to the network and share it. Make the network more intelligent.
So we went out and interviewed the following journalists, media critics, and other scholars about the performance of the mainstream media leading up to the war in Iraq. These are the interviews that volunteers have been helping me transcribe so I could post them on my website.
Bill Plante,
Jonathan Landay,
I'm Warren Strobel,
Julian Boldrum,
Helen Thomas,
Greg Mitchell,
John R. MacArthur,
Pamela Hess, I'm Amy Goodman,
Jim Loeb,
Brenna Avery Brown,
Bob Dreyfus,
Jack Nelson,
Larry Grossman,
Tom Rosenstiel,
Steve Rendell, Cliff Kincaid,
Danny Schechter,
Andrew Tyndall,
Susan Muller,
Todd Gitlin,
Jay Rosen,
Michael O'Hanlon, Grover Norquist, Cliff May, David Sirota,
John Prados,
Joyce Battle,
Tom Donnelly,
Ruth Wedgwood, Phyllis Bennis,
Jim Paul,
Sean Murphy,
Greg Thielman,
Marie McGovern,
John Brown,
Karen Katowski,
Reed Brody,
I'm Natalie Bourgeois,
Damu Smith,
Afaf Stevens,
Christopher Queen,
Sulak Sivaraksa,
Gola, Wolf, Richards.
So I interviewed all these people about where media is at, but what about the future of the media? What about all these new media technologies?
Marcos Malitzis.
I'm Jeff Jarvis. I'm Hugh Hewitt. Dan Gillmor.
Chris Nolan. I'm Halley, Suitt.
Rebecca McKinnon,
Doc Searls,
Mindy Finn,
Sheldon Ramsden,
Christopher Rabb, Scott Heiferman,
Hossein Darabson, also known as Hodder.
How can you make a media that's more integral and holistic?
Dr. Don Beck,
James O'D,
Dr. Marilyn Schlitz,
Dean Radin,
Fred Allen Wolf,
Ben Twist,
Susan Davis,
Peter Russell, Dwayne Elgin, Sharif Abdullah, Van Jones.
You know, this media revolution is just starting to begin, and I look forward to hearing your insights for how we can make a better media.